What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I've got some depressing sort of news, but still an important point to talk about in terms of Jordan Peterson and his judicial review around his ridiculous re-education order. The Jordan Peterson is a guy, obviously, that in many cases has been on the correct side of history with cultural things. Jordan, I think, has had a pretty rough couple of years, but he's still a very, very important ally in the war against this nonsense. So if you were, Jordan had pushed back against this re-education that was being forced upon him. He tweeted, "The decision of an Ontario court in terms of the allegations levied against me by the Ontario is due tomorrow. I stand by what I have said and done and wish them luck in their continued prosecution. They're going to need it. I tweeted and otherwise expressed my opposition to trans surgery. Justin Trudeau and his minions and the lying climate apocalypse mongers, all that's looking pretty good from my end. If I can't express such opinions in Canada, I will let the world know." He then tweeted, I will video record all further hearings and mandatory, quote, re-education courses and broadcast them unedited on YouTube for the world to see. I swear by all that is holy." So essentially, if they force him into these re-education lessons, he's going to kind of expose that they, everything that's a part of him. Now, how did he get here? Well, by being normal, by not bending the knee to the, lunatics, the woke ideology, things like that. And you see here, Ontario court rules against Jordan Peterson, upholds social media training order. An Ontario court has ruled against controversial psychologist, he's not controversial, Jordan Peterson Wednesday, upholding a regulatory body's order that he undergo social media training. Last November, Peterson, a professor emeritus with the University of Toronto Psychology Department, who is also an author and media commentator, was ordered by the College of Psychologists of Ontario to undergo a coaching program on professionalism in public statements. That followed numerous baloney sausage complaints to the governing body of Ontario psychologists, of which Peterson is a member, regarding his online commentary directed at politicians, a plus-size model, trans actor Elliot Page, and other issues. The college's complaints committee concluded that his controversial public statements could amount to professional misconduct. Again, I want to remind people that he was just sharing his opinion, right? Just sharing his opinion. And then he ordered him to not only go to re-education camp, but pay for the media coaching program, noting failure to comply would mean a loss of license to practice psychology in the province. Peterson filed for a judicial review, arguing that his political commentary is not under the college's purview, you would think, right? The Ontario court has dismissed Peterson's application, ruling that the college's decision falls within its mandate to regulate the profession in its public interest and does not affect his freedom of expression. Really? It seems pretty odd to me. It seems that he has, in fact, had his freedom of expression squashed here because he cannot share his honest opinion without getting, sent to whatever re-education camp, and then, by the way, be forced to pay for it. To me, it seems like absolutely has gone against his freedom of expression and his freedom of speech. And if I remember, he was just speaking out against what he thought, Ellen Page did, or Elliot Page, or whatever their name is now. Of course, he said they're going to need it. Peterson told CBC News in January that he had no intention of giving up his fight with the regulatory body, accusing the college of attempting to stymie his speech and discipline him for his political opinions, which they are, in my opinion, doing. He added that he no longer treats patients and his career is instead focused on social and political commentary. Similarly, he doesn't regularly even lecture at the university. I deserve it. I earned it. I haven't done anything to justify surrendering it, and I don't want to give the hyenas their bones. Well, now he's going to have to do it. This is originally was, Jordan Peterson being disciplined for his tweets. Why some say that raises free speech issues. No, I mean, it's absolutely a free speech issue. And Peterson's, politicians there have come out and spoken in his defense.
So the Ontario College of Psychologists has told Jordan Peterson that he either undergo retraining for social media etiquette or lose his license to practice as a clinical psychologist. This follows a number of complaints by people who don't like his online posts, one of which is a retweet of something I posted, another is a criticism of Justin Trudeau. Now, it should go without saying.
He's had, again, politicians who back him too. And this is a very concerning decision, legally. Very concerning. Now, I keep scrolling down because Peterson's addicted to social media. I was trying to see if he had issued a statement, as this is pretty new news. So I'm guessing he's probably got to wait, for his lawyers to let him, put out some sort of statement. But it's very, very, very interesting to me. You see Jordan Peterson loses court battle over degrading and unprofessional tweets, will be forced into remedial coaching, forced into literal re-education camps. I don't really know how else to describe it without being hyperbolic, but that's what this is. This is his job saying, hey, if you want to keep your job, you want to be able to do what you have been doing for your entire career, you will now have to, essentially they're trying to break him and embarrass him by forcing him into this re-education camp. On Wednesday, a divisional court dismissed his request in a decision that's been widely anticipated by free speech advocates and regulators from other professions. In my view, the decision of ICRC adequately and reasonably considered Dr. Peterson's statements in the context of the college's statutory mandate to regulate the profession in its public interest, Justice Paul Shabbos wrote behalf of the three-judge panel. The ICRC decision considered that proportionality balanced the impact of imposing remedial training to Peterson's right to freedom of expression protected under the Charter. Quote, the order is not disciplinary and does not prevent Peterson from expressing himself on controversial topics. It has minimal impact on his right to freedom of expression, the 17-page decision states. Are you kidding me? It is absolutely disciplinary. They're forcing a professional, a well-respected professional, to take what they themselves call remedial training, what the rest of us know as re-education camps. It is absolutely punitive. It's meant to smear his reputation. It's meant to break him. It's meant to inconvenience him. It's meant to, most importantly, discourage him from speaking out against topics that they don't want him to. That's what all of this is about. Of course it's punitive. Of course it's a punishment. Of course. Are they joking with this? The decision is transparent, logical, and provides coherent chain of reasoning, and it's reasonably based on the facts that were put forth available. Peterson was reacting before the decision came out, saying, I stand by what I've said and done and wish them luck. He also vowed to record everything. Tony DeBono, the CPO's registrar and executive director, wrote in an email statement that the college will review today's decision and undertake next step in accordance with our mandate and appropriate legal processes. His statement added that the college is committed to carrying out its mandate and protecting the public interest by regulating his tweets. This is a 110% a infraction and infringement on his freedom of expression. Now, Canada doesn't have a First Amendment. They have levels of free speech. They have charters. They have rules around people's right to express themselves. But we know that that depends on exactly what opinions are being espoused. This is an absolute outrage, and I stand with Jordan Peterson 100% against this. And I look forward to him releasing all of these re-education lessons online, which I suspect means that they're going to back down because they don't want us to see that. But I sincerely hope that they don't at this point, because the world needs to see what they're going to do to not just Jordan Peterson. Remember, he's the tip of the spear. This is about everybody. This is about controlling everybody's freedom of expression if you should go out of the bounds of what the message is.